Well, the Dallas Cowboys have reworked the contract of right tackle Terrence Steele, opening up $4.5 million in cap space. Add Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb's contracts, and they've opened up $25 million in space that is likely to be carried over to 2025. Tight end Jake Ferguson says that he's potentially going to try and work through his MCL.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate y'all tuning in. However y'all may be listening, whether that's on 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching via our YouTube channel. Of course, you can always comment and follow along at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go ahead, like, subscribe. Frank Valdez, Fred Records, Rudolph Gonzalez, Fred Villarreal, all already up in there. Renji asking if I've got a new glass box of fun. Yes, I've got a brand new glass box of fun. It's even got a big old TV right there behind me, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube. So now, time to get ready for the use to the new spaceship. But so much has been going on since we last spoke, and it feels like forever since we last spoke, even though it was for 30 minutes on Monday. But we've got the new Dak deal. We've got the Cowboys looking incredibly impressive against Cleveland. You got the Texans holding off Indy in their first game. And of course, college football has been amazing. Texas steamrolls Michigan, letting you know they are going to be in that conversation when it comes to one of the best teams in college football. And that Georgia-Texas game already looking pretty prime as one of the best matchups of this college football season and a potential preview for the national championship game potentially. So much to talk about, but we go into college sports, or we start in college sports today, because while Texas looks great, there are questions revolving around certain coaches already, because nature of sports, that's how we do things. We wonder who's on the hot seat. Of course, Mike McCarthy's seat feels a little bit cooler right now in the NFL, but you already have concerns for different coaches around the NFL. What about in college? In college, what coaches could potentially already be on the hot seat this year, just a couple of weeks into the season? Well, the guys from the Morning Huddle discussed that this morning as AJ and Rob, before they left for Vegas, started saying which coaches could potentially already be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I don't think Billy survives. I think season. In Power 4 land, it's Billy Napier, Dave Aranda at Baylor, and Sam Pittman at Arkansas that's the three guys that I think of as like, they've got to figure it out real quick or they're done. And Billy and actually all three guys have taken a loss this year, but Billy took an embarrassing loss to a rival at home. Sam Pittman had maybe about as big of a bonehead loss as you can have against Oklahoma State.
They gained like 900 yards.
How you lose that game is beyond me. And there's not much shame in Dave Aranda going to Utah and losing. They actually played pretty tough, despite Utah having a backup quarterback in the second half.
What about Norvell?
They paid him so much money.
Yeah, well.
And last season, they were 13-0 because they won the ACC. They were undefeated last season. I don't know if you can fire a guy the year after that.
I as a guy who sent a guy packing for $75 million, anybody can be fired anytime. I just thought that the humiliation that Florida State felt he probably would be on a hotter seat if Florida was better. But thank goodness Florida sucks too. Misery loves company, and he does have last year to rely on. But I don't think he's much safer past next year than anybody
I don't
else.
either. And listen, it'll buy you so much time, but Mike Norvell right now had a 13-1 season after the bowl, 10-3 season. He had 2 losing seasons, and now he's 0-2. So if in 5 years, if Florida State somehow doesn't get bowl eligible, that means they wouldn't be bowl eligible in 3 of their 5 seasons under him. Even if you do go 13-1, that you might lose your ass on that.
Yes.
But I think that'd be a mistake. You know, honestly, Mike Norvell's he's the biggest head scratcher to me because I know he's a good coach and like he's proven to be a good coach. Like he turned Memphis into a football program, like single-handedly, basically. And he never had a losing season in Memphis.
What did Saban say the other day? You can pay all the guys that much money, but you got to pay the right effing guys.
That's the thing, man.
And I think Ungalalele was the wrong effing guy.
Oh, the wrong guy for sure. And you saw how good they can be with the right guy last year. You know, listen, if Mike Norvell does get fired, he's the kind of guy who I'm looking for. I think if he gets fired by Florida State, somebody's going to get a hell of a coach. But it may just be one of those relationships, one of those situations where it just doesn't work.
Where'd he come from?
Louisiana Lafayette.
He was ooh la la.
Skipped a step.
And I hate that we'll take this full circle. Billy Napier very easily could have been Jeff Traylor.
Yeah.
And then when Traylor was interviewing at A&M, I think he passed every test. He answered every question. Every box was checked, but the experience in a snake pit. And Florida, like A&M, is a snake pit. And I think that when Napier jumped steps, like you just put it, you've got to matriculate carefully when you go into a situation like that because it can turn south fast. And you really, if you don't have the experience, just don't know how to get it fixed in time to save your job.
Ask Charlie Strong.
Right.
Like the idea that, and really ask Tom Herman.
Sometimes, all good coaches.
Yeah. And sometimes going from Central Florida to the University of Texas is more of a jump than you think it is. And Florida, let's not forget what Florida is. Florida is the premier football school in a state that has a lot and is probably outside of Texas, the most, or maybe alongside Texas, the most fertile recruiting ground in the country. Florida it should be considered an elite job.
That is as good. It's the highest you can get. There is no higher. There's equal, but there's no higher.
I mean, to me, it's in the same combo as Texas,
Alabama,
USC, Ohio State, because their peak is that. You are the king of your castle in a fertile recruiting ground. What he's doing there is unacceptable. Like, you can't be that bad when you've got so much going for you. That's like to me, it's very difficult to find a guy who can really succeed at these places. But if you're an abject failure at one of those places, like if you somehow, it's what I said about Charlie Strong. If you can have a losing record at Texas, you shouldn't be there. Like you should never have a losing record when you're at Texas or Florida or Georgia. Like there's too much working in your favor that if you have a losing record, you are the problem. Like the way you're running things it's not like, oh, we can't get the right kids or we don't have enough money behind us. No, there's none of those excuses at those places. It's you. And I think Billy Napier, it might just be him.
So Napier, Norvell, we'll use him, but you're right. I think there's some history that'll save him. And let's throw Dion in here. Let's say all four.
Well, he's not on the hot seat, but he might leave anyway.
But let's say all four win 5-6 games.
Okay.
Right in there, just enough to appease. You might even win a rivalry game, but at the end of the day, you're barely bowl eligible, and things just don't look right. Who doesn't survive a 5-win season? I think they all survive. I think if Napier gets 5, I think he survives if he wins an appropriate rivalry game.
Sam Pittman doesn't survive 5 wins.
Oh, I didn't. Pittman, I think, is done, but they brought in his replacement. I mean, Petrino's already in the building. And he rolled up 800 yards of offense, and Pittman's defense gave away the game.
I don't know if Dave Aranda survives 5 wins either. Baylor seemed like, I know that he gave them a season where, one of their best seasons ever, but I think Baylor is, and this is, I'm not saying they're right for thinking this way, but I think Baylor believes they should be further along than they are. And with the schedule that they've got, they've got Air Force coming up. That's an imminently winnable game. And you're playing in a Big 12 that is weaker than it's ever been. If they won 5 games in the Big 12, I think he'd be gone.
You know what? The thing with Baylor is they got 2 things going. One, we know they're capable of putting together a football team given the right circumstances.
Opening the right pocket.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Texas. You can fall ass backwards into a Heisman candidate. I mean, Robert Griffin,
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen. But what Baylor has this unique opportunity to kind of, wipe the slate clean in this new conference that really kind of fits them. And I just get the sense they feel like we're getting left behind. And then you have to deal with the added stigma. Ask Kansas about that you are now a basketball school. Yeah. That when you are being recruited, other coaches that are recruiting you too go, you don't want to go to Baylor. You're a second-class citizen. Yeah. Everybody's looking forward to November, October, and it's a fun afternoon in Waco for a basketball game. But when it comes to who are we loving, it's the basketball team. That's where everybody's going. You're a second-class citizen. You're not going to go there. I think Baylor needs to go get a coach that will take some of the air out of the room and put some more focus on the football team. And as much as I like Aranda, I think he is a solid dude, and he got there at the right time after Rule kind of left him high and dry. He's just not the guy for this job. He doesn't have enough personality to kind of get enough space in the Baylor fandom to kind of draw it other than a pastime on Saturdays.
I think the difference between Baylor and Kansas is, like, I remember when big fat Mark Mangino was winning Orange Bowls at Kansas, and they were like, even when Kansas was on top of the football world, no one cared.
Yeah, you're a basketball school.
But Baylor goes 10-2, 11-1. It turns back into a football school real quick.
Yeah, but there's a long way from going from here to 10-2.
No, you're right.
But
They're still hungry for it.
Aranda's just not going to get the dudes that are going to go 10-2.
Just like right now, Houston is a basketball school, but trust me, they get their football program figured out. Every school in Texas, once football's figured out, you're a football school.
AJ's right on that. Yeah, basketball school for now. But once you figure out football, that school automatically becomes a football school. This is Extra Innings with Pledge right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Morning Huddle, by the way, going to be live from Vegas as they get ready for the Canelo fight out there at the MGM Grand. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning from 6 to 10 to listen to the guys. When we come back, the Blitz had a really good conversation earlier today with RJ Ochoa blogging The Boys. Love hearing from my boy RJ as he and the Blitz debated the new Dak Prescott contract, what it means for the future, and what we saw out of them in that win over Cleveland. That's all coming up next here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Imagine owning a piece of Texas coastal waterfront property. Your dream can become a reality this Saturday, September 14th, at the grand opening of Texas's newest waterfront community off of Matagorda Bay. You can own land on a waterfront peninsula starting at $59.9. That's right, only $59.9. This ag-exempt waterfront community has world-class saltwater fishing, stunning panoramic water views, a sparkling pool, private cabana, dog park, a fishing pier, boat ramp, boat and RV storage, and much more. Plus, enjoy peace of mind with paved roads and underground utilities. Coastal waterfront property, starting at just $59.9. This is a one-day event, Saturday, September 14th, and it's by appointment only. Call 210-853-0389. Call now to schedule your VIP tour at 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. 210-853-0389.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the pit house to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E and 16004.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. To have payment plans, call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
At the UPS store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, venues, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop Prints That Pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Earlier today on the Blitz, of course, Managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa, managed to join the guys, and there was a lot to talk about, including the Cowboys' very impressive win over the Cleveland Browns, and of course, that Deshaun Watson richest contract in NFL history thing.
This is Jim Rome, and you're listening to 94.1. This is Jim Rome, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Want to congratulate Steven Rodriguez. He registered at sasportstar.com for a pair of tickets to go see the Cowboys. Not only does he win a pair of tickets to the game, he also gets a parking pass, which is just as valuable
That's awesome.
for this Sunday's game against the New Orleans Saints. You want your chance of winning tickets? Next up, Baltimore Ravens tickets for September 22nd, 2 tickets and a parking pass. All you have to do is get registered at sasportstar.com. Let's talk some Cowboys football. Our good friend RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. First time, RJ, we've had a chance to talk to you on air since, I don't know, the Cowboys won a game and Dak Prescott became even richer.
On the Dak note, it was such a sigh of relief. Thank God, our big dumb team isn't the biggest and the dumbest. It was not predictable. I don't care what anybody says that they knew it was going to happen, on Sunday, blah, blah. It was the truest 11th hour sort of thing. And I don't know if you agree, Jason, because I know you believe in Dak. It really did feel like the cloud finally leaving. And it was like, okay, we can enjoy football season finally. And then obviously for the team to play so well, it was just a great day. The vibes have been awesome, obviously, since Sunday morning when it all broke.
Well, wait a minute. How come you didn't include me in that belief in Dak Prescott? I'm kind of curious.
Well, I thought you were still mourning because Jake Ferguson had a scary injury. Thank goodness he's going to be all right. But yeah, Joe, you can have a piece of this pie to use a Stephen Jonesism.
Well, I got to tell you, RJ, that when I look on the bright side of this whole thing, and even though I was against this huge
You're
contract,
a glass half full guy now, huh?
but now I'm a glass half full guy because for the next 4 years at least, I have content when the Cowboys get beat in the first round of the playoffs.
I saw a clip of James Jones. I don't know if it was today or yesterday on FS1 talking about how Joe Burrow seems to kind of not take heat. Right. The Bengals lose in embarrassing fashion. And we, people, always rebut to that and say, well, you went to the Super Bowl. That's true. But, these high mark achievements don't seem to apply to other people. And I don't mean just Dak Prescott. Jalen Hurts struggles and we don't talk about how he went to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen struggles. We don't give him his flowers. Lamar Jackson's won 2 MVPs. I recognize that Dak Prescott is a volatile and divisive subject. He is every metric, every data point, advanced, primitive supports that he's one of the very best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And for the Cowboys to lock him up for the next 4 years, obviously 5 counting this one, is significant. This is all about now if they can get it done. And I tell you what, and I know you agree with this, Joe, if Dak does this, if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl over the life of this extension, if he is Frodo and delivers the ring back to Mordor, he will live in a different kind of legend than anybody maybe we've ever seen in sports, given what it will mean to this particular team, this particular sport, and this particular country. And so he's got half a decade to ultimately get it done.
On that, we agree, RJ. That we agree.
It's a big if because he hasn't done it yet. But if he does, you're absolutely right. Now, the contract is behind, and you're right. That's a great analogy. The cloud has been lifted, and one of us, me, predicted that it would happen before the start of the season. I can't believe it took all the way until Sunday morning, but it did. And when you read the details of the contract, I don't know what the hell Steven has been doing because it feels like Dak got everything he asked for. Everything is for Dak, who maintains all the leverage and all the control. And this one is set up already for the next one, if there is a next one with the Dallas Cowboys. But let's talk about what we saw on the field. I've got to be 100% honest with you, RJ. I picked Cleveland to win the game. I thought Cleveland playing at home would be better. I thought Deshaun Watson would be better. And with no training camp or preseason games for Dak Prescott and CD getting there late, two rookie offensive linemen. I thought it'd be a rough day for the Cowboys offense. I couldn't have been more wrong. What surprised you most Sunday about the Cowboys' performance?
I picked the Cowboys, to be clear, and it was maybe just a touch of, kind of wanting and willing it, right? You don't want to pick against your team in the first week after you've made it through the desert of the offseason. But a lot of it really was a lack of belief in Cleveland's offense, and that certainly proved to be true. So in that spirit, even though I picked Dallas, I think what surprised me the most was just how fluid they were. And I think that they deserve, and by they, I mean the players, obviously. I would certainly put Mike McCarthy at the very top of that list. For kind of ignoring the just cesspool that we've all been living in for the last half year. So for them to come out, after what I think we all regard to be one of the more toxic off seasons in recent team history, really, really was quite impressive. And I know that it felt like the offense was a little bit asleep in the second half, but the reality of the situation was, when the ball hung in the air for Kevontae Turpin to catch it, it was 20-3, and then he made that, a little bit different in a matter of seconds. And so I think that, those people, they can't avenge the playoff loss to Green Bay in the second half of a game in Cleveland in the season opener. And they know that they've just got to stack these together, and they appear to be very disciplined and ready to do so. And so that they didn't really skip a single beat was impressive. I know what this sounds like, but they played like a team that just happened to have a really bad day on the most important one when they lost to the Packers in the playoffs last year.
Well, I will tell you this, RJ, and we've talked about this since the game on Sunday. I was really impressed in the first half. I was really impressed with Mike McCarthy and how he called the game. He made sure that Dak was mobile, the sweeps with CD Lamb, and all of it, I think, to avoid Myles Garrett at all costs. But I thought he did a great job with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's an incredible play caller that doesn't get a lot of credit for that. And some of that is just, the logo on his cap and on his polo. But to mitigate Myles Garrett, and to be clear, Myles still won. He had the fastest sack of any player in week one. I mean, to handle him in general, let alone to do it with a rookie making his first career start, first career game out on an island out there was really impressive. And so that the Cowboys got through that is really nice. It's a road win. They're 1-0, and they're big time favorites this week. But I trust them. I mean, and look, I think everyone will make the same jokes, right? Like, oh, they'll be great in the regular season, blah blah blah. It's hard. It's hard to be this consistently good, and they're showing that they're ready for the challenge for the fourth year in a row.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com here on the Blitz. I'm not sure how to gauge the run game. It wasn't impressive. Zeke had 35 yards at halftime, finished with 40, but the offense, I felt, got very conservative with the big lead. But he blocked extremely well, which we've talked about during the offseason. Might be the biggest value that he brings to the Dallas Cowboys at this point in his career is his pass blocking abilities. But the overall concern with the run game when they are going to need it most.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'll admit that I was pleasantly surprised at how functional Zeke appeared to be. Now, you mentioned obviously kind of a lower day for him as far as actual production. He did have -17 rush yards over expectation, which suggests that he did less with more. But to be fair, everybody was in the negatives on Sunday, even CD Lamb. It's just, this is a really, really stout defense. And so that the one block I think that everyone kind of saw where Zeke, I mean, in the most heroic way possible, fell on a grenade and just sacrificed his body was amazing. I mean, I think we all want to see more, but it also kind of seems like, hey, this weird way you're going about this position with these random dudes, including this favorite guy who you're going to let play for you as long as he wants, it might actually work. It's 1 week, and nobody should really overreact one way or another, positively or negatively. But right now, they have every reason to grin, smile, and laugh at us for doubting them.
That was RJ Ochoa earlier today on the Blitz. If you want to catch the full interview, go to sasportstar.com. Look in our audio vault, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Everything is right there. Fred Villarreal said Joe thought RJ said Frito when he made a Frodo reference. Yeah, I don't think Joe knows Lord of the Rings very well. Just saying. When we come back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure, it is something that the Cowboys did this offseason, putting CD and Dak, what they put them through in order to finally, right before kickoff, have everything locked in place and ready for the season. And it looked like, it was a weight off of everybody's shoulders finally to have those contracts settled. Will Jerry do the same thing next year with Micah Parsons? Well, AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle discussed. We'll bring that to you next, right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
You've heard me talk about GiveMeTheVin.com for years, but wait till you hear what our customer said about GiveMeTheVin.com buyer Garrett.
Garrett has been beyond phenomenal to work with. And I have to say, it's been refreshing working with somebody that actually cares about people. He's made this entire process easy. They are a very professional company. If I ever need anything in the future, I definitely will be using this business simply for the fact of how incredible the customer service is.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Hey, sports bettors, Joe Reinigle here to tell you about my favorite sportsbook and casino, BetUS.com. You know, football is back, so it's time to get in on the action. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS. BetUS went large for you this season. A huge offer, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Get started today at BetUS.com or give them a call, 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick
don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with just a simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on PrizePicks. You get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back. Text your with pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Appreciate everybody for riding along tonight. Remember, we are your home for both the Aggies and the Cowboys as we get you going this week with all kinds of stuff. But first and foremost, we start with Thursday Night Football as Week 2 brings you the Bills and the Dolphins. It all starts at 6:30 with the pregame. Thursday Night Football on San Antonio Sports Stars presented by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Now, the Cowboys definitely, by most accounts, fans, media, did not handle their offseason contract situations great. They strung out Dak until an hour before the season started, and CeeDee Lamb missed all of training camp. So the question becomes, CeeDee Lamb did this in going into his 5th and final year on his 5th-year option. That is Micah next year. And will Jerry put Micah through the exact same thing that he just did with CeeDee and Dak before ultimately caving and giving them basically everything they wanted? Well, the guys from the Morning Huddle discussed this morning as Rob and AJ talk about whether Jerry actually going to do the same thing yet again.
You're in now. You're married to Dak. The best player on your team still hasn't gotten his payday. Pay it now. I know that Micah's not bitching. I know that he's not, holding out. I know Micah's been doing everything the right way. Micah's in the news saying, I'm a Cowboy. I'm going to stay a Cowboy.
Yeah.
Go do it early. Save yourself the headache. Save yourself the money, because Micah today will be cheaper than Micah 1 year from today or 9 months from today. You have to agree with that, right, Rob?
I completely agree. But
you've signed too many checks. Your check writing hand sore. You're not doing it.
No, it's not that. But there is the principle of the thing that I'm just not going to redo a deal that's 2 years young. I'm just not going to do it. I'm watching Cincinnati go through this. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to pay you appropriately.
The difference is Jamar Chase is being a squeaky wheel. Jamar Chase is trying to. Jamar Chase, he will, but he's not being squeaky now. And now is like, you don't have to pay him now. It doesn't. You're not. There's no pressure on. Nobody says, I can't believe this owner's not paying the guy 2 years early. So Jamar Chase being squeaky. Jamar Chase isn't getting a lot of support from the media, from the public. They're kind of like, yeah, well, maybe wait your turn.
Well,
but if the owner is proactive and says, hey, we know what we've got in you, we want to keep you happy, why not? And then Jerry feels, now remember we were talking about how teams don't want to play for a guy like Jerry if he's being a cheap ass.
That's exactly.
You could do that, and people go, oh, Jerry rewards his guys even early sometimes.
But he does reward them. I mean,
He does.
He rewarded Diggs. He rewarded CD. He rewarded Dak. He does in the end. Everybody knows he's going to pay. Now, he might not treat you right. You might have to go through the ringer, but in the end, he always pays. Now, he might be on his way, AJ. Didn't I see they just redid Steele's contract? It looks like they're going to carry in about $25 million into next year.
Yeah.
It looks like some of this might be in play. And if he does, in fact, do this, maybe the pain of writing the biggest check in the history of the NFL was enough for him to go, you know what? It's going to suck, but I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Jerry's going to change anything, but it would be the smart thing to do. I can't wait to hear what RJ Ochoa has to say on the Blitz today, because nobody has been harder on Jerry than RJ of Blogging the Boys.
Well, we're gonna play you some audio from Jerry, and we're gonna have a short minute to talk about it, and then we'll talk about it more on the other side. But here's Jerry kind of defending his philosophy of waiting to do these deals.
Oh, well, I think, first of all, what if you're not right? What if you're not right? What if you're wrong? You shouldn't have extended it. Have you ever thought that in any case, I'm not talking about Dak's contract at all, but in any case, secondly, it's a real misnomer to think that you had a meeting of the minds at this level that we ended up. Once it's done, you said, why couldn't you all have gotten that done yesterday? That's easy. Just paying the most money ever. Well, you have no idea where you were close to a meeting of the minds. Dak, of course, had the ability to play this out this year and be free in a market that could really reward that very much. And the assumption you're making when you say late in the game on any of these players, have we ever signed the players early and then sorry that we signed them? You guys get your memory cap out. We have, haven't we? Okay? Signed them 2 years too early, a year too early. Didn't see enough. So it does happen. You're dealing with such an inexact, it can be, it's comparable to some types of competition don't have tangible thing. It's more like a beauty contest than it is a final score. Well, you never know for sure if you were right or wrong. You just can look at an ultimate result. Now, sometimes it's so clear as to where you are that then you should go ahead and make that decision. Every time in my life that I have known and could do it, that I wanted to do it, I would go do it. And I broke glass trying to get there. Every time I have ever done it. Have I ever not done a lot of them? Yes, because the other people didn't want to do it.
Broke glass to get there.
He's right. Some of the things he said.
He is right. He's made mistakes in the past. I understand his reluctance, but Micah Parsons appears to me to be a special player. And he's going to be part of your long term. Like, is there any world where Micah Parsons, you think he's not on the Cowboys in 2 years? Then what? Then just.
Yeah, you are so right. We've been saying this for years, though, but that's Jerry does it Jerry's way. And Jerry would rather be in the news being told he's an idiot than do the right thing and be quietly left behind. It's just not in him. And let's be real here. As much as we love Micah, as much as we do, the last 2 years, he himself has said it, that he has run out of gas, that he hasn't been the same player, that usage was weird. He was tired at the end. There are some things that he has to prove to be the Von Miller, that kind of money. There's some things that he's going to have to prove, I think, while as good as he's been and as good as we expect him to be. You want Von Miller money? I need Von Miller play. I need you huge in the biggest games.
Well, I got news. If he has a year exactly like he's had the past 2 years,
he's going
to be the richest guy in the richest non-quarterback in the world.
Jerry will write the check. Now, it'll be hard to get there. It'll be ugly as all get out, but it'll be a lot easier than Dak.
I just don't get why you have to go through all that. And it's going to be more expensive then.
Yes.
You should have learned from this.
He doesn't learn, man.
He doesn't learn. Fred Records on our YouTube channel asking, Tank Lawrence is due after next year, 2025. He's a unrestricted free agent. Yep. And likely he's a casualty of paying all of these guys all of that money, unless he is the one who decides to come back on a lesser deal to stay with the Cowboys. But that is a conversation for next offseason for sure. Miguel Martinez says, USA gives me 1% on what's in my savings. So if you have $1 billion in there, that's like $10 million. There's a reason Jerry wants to keep his money as long as he can. It always makes money, and they find a way to make it make money. So 20 million versus 10, whatever it may be. We'll see what it eventually boils down to with Micah Parsons. But when we come back, we're going to finish things up strong. The Blitz, well, they were talking about something very, very interesting today. Who do you think is the Cowboys' biggest rival? I know who I think the Cowboys' biggest rival is, but there have been some differing opinions around the station. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or just hop on the YouTube chat at SA Sports Star. Like, subscribe, comment along. Let me know who you think the Cowboys' biggest rival is. Is it Washington, Philadelphia, New York, Pittsburgh, San Francisco? We'll discuss next right here on Extra Innings with Pledge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the Big Blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true, like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here. Let's talk weight loss, energy, and muscle tone. Are the dad bod jokes too frequent for you these days? Well, the testosterone experts at Synergenics are known for advanced TRT treatment, but they're also experts with GLP-1 weight loss medications. At Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, you get TRT test results on your first visit, and you can also be evaluated for prescription weight loss treatment. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com. That's synergenxhealth.com.
Hi, I'm Chip with Diamond J Properties. Have you ever imagined owning a piece of Texas coastal waterfront property? Your dream can become a reality this Saturday at the grand opening of Texas's newest waterfront community off of Matagorda Bay. You can own land on a waterfront peninsula starting at $59.9. That's right, $59.9. This ag-exempt waterfront community has world-class fishing, panoramic views, a sparkling pool, private cabana, fishing pier, boat ramp, boat and RV storage, and much more. Plus, enjoy peace of mind with paved roads and underground utilities. Coastal waterfront property starting at $59.9. This one-day event this Saturday is by appointment only. Call 210-853-0389. Call now to schedule your VIP tour at 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Call 210-853-0389.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total normal testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BICEP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BICEP to 321-321. That's BICEP to 321-321.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch every game, every Sunday, all in one place. Which means you can watch the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, and the Jets. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game, every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pledger. Thanks for joining me as we take you home tonight. Coming up at the top of the hour, Cowboys Crosstalk. So, Jason was wondering who is the biggest rival to Cowboys fan? And I think it's generational. I do. I think it depends a lot of where you are, and I kind of think it means a lot of where you grew up, because I understand Jason's, and I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I don't really have a right. But when I think rivalries, I think Cowboys-Eagles. I think of Irvin being booed laying on the ground at Veterans Stadium. I think about the fans and the bleep holes that they are, and part of like just the two teams being thorns in each other's sides lately and always competing for the division, but also the fact that, you know, the fans just are insufferable. Like, everybody talks about how bad Cowboys fans, and it's always our year, but Eagle fans are just miserable human beings for the most part in terms of hating other sports teams. It doesn't even matter who they are, but they have a special hate for the Cowboys. So I thought it would be more mutual than it is. King of Dragons on our YouTube Live says that Cowboys and Indians is the longest running rivalry, but I'd say 49ers are arguably the greatest rivalry for the Cowboys just because of the importance of the games. And that's right. When they meet, usually that revolves around going to an NFC title game or a Super Bowl. So I understand the importance of the rivalries because of that. Fred Record says the Cowboys' biggest rival is sometimes the Cowboys themselves, but he thinks it's the Eagles. Hunter Hitch says Philadelphia. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. Guys, I appreciate y'all coming with me. Remember, check on your loved ones. You never know what anybody's going through in life. Be kind to everybody. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger. We'll see you tomorrow here on San Antonio Sports Star. Cowboys Crosstalk coming up next.
94.1. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for